The player who closed your game didn't rage quit. They put a few minutes in, told themselves they come back and didn't. But the problem is you lost them before that. So start with the one you can fix today. Open your game, hit play and count the seconds until the player makes a decision that matters. If the number is over 10, cut everything else away. The logo, the menu sweep, the settings prompt, the character walking slowly to the door. That's the first one. One of them isn't about feel at all, and it's the one I keep refusing to see in my own game. That is number 3. That 10-second rule isn't about the attention, it's about who is being asked to invest first. Before the player has done anything, they owe you nothing. So every second you spend on presentation on your game is a second that you spend on credit that you haven't earned yet. So for example, if you look at other games, Balatro deals you a hand, Vampire Survivors hands you a character and lets monsters come right in the beginning. Neither of them ask you to admire anything before you're allowed to play. But the problem now is that the games that get the opening right can still lose players about 90 seconds later, for a reason that doesn't even have to do anything with pacing, and that's number 2. The player clicks and the game just compiles. The number goes up, the tile appears, it feels like maybe operating a spreadsheet in Excel, for example. The problem here is that a dull game feels dull to the developer, but to the player it feels faulty. For example, if you take Celeste Jump as the reference, it's a small hop with a huge amount of response packed around it. And that's why the game survives being brutally hard. So now pick the action your player repeats the most. Give it a 1 frame of stop, a sound with an actual attack, something on the screen that moves because of it. Doesn't matter. One action and not the whole game. That is what matters. And that gets you a game that feels alive. And now we get to the next problem, which is you lose players and the tutorial. Number 3 is the tutorial that pops up in a box. The box has 4 sentences in it and the player reads none of them. And if you want to have a great example of what to do better, we have Celeste again. They teach a dash in a room where you can't die and can't get out without dashing. But you work it out because the room won't let you do anything else. What you can take out of that is to take your most explained mechanic and build a room where it's the only way forward. And importantly, failing costs nothing. If you can't design that room, that mechanic is a bit vague and you shouldn't keep it. That's the one I meant earlier. Every line of a tutorial is something your level failed to say, and that is a decision you already made, which is why it took me so long to look at. And now we come to another really big problem, which is a player who understands your game perfectly will still leave after 3 runs. That is number 4. They finish a session and they understand the loop and there's no reason to open it again. A great counterexample is Hades. Hades gives you different outcomes every time, so the corridor produces a different build. For example, Balatro does this with Jokers. What you can take out of this is that the layout barely matters, but the variance is the thing that keeps the player holding. So the cheapest version of this, what you can do is randomizing numbers, but don't take this too literally. Damage between 8 and 12 isn't that. But the actual thing you need to do is add one system that changes what the player is doing. If you already have a system that runs and feels identical, the choice is arriving too late. The last one is my game had feedback, it had variety and it had a good opening that got cut out of the way. But people played it once. Nothing in it told the player they were getting better, they were improving and the game never said so. The problem is that skill you can't see isn't a reward for the player, it just feels boring or even like work. So we come back to Hades. Hades is really blunt about this. You die, you lose a run, you walk back into something permanent. The death is a bit of a sting, but it's not wasted. A good thing you should do then is find the number that goes up across sessions and put it in front of them. A best time, a unlocked list, an enemy that used to kill them, and then go back and fix your opening seconds. Because a player who leaves in the first minute doesn't file a complaint. They will just leave it or even return it on Steam. And if game design tips like this help you, subscribe and join the Discord in the description. And with that, I hope I'll see you in the next one.